Hey everyone, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and welcome to my review of the LEGO Toy Story 4 Buzz and Bo Peeps Playground Adventure. This set includes 139 pieces. Its official set number is 10768. It's a juniors or 4+ line set, and in the US is going to cost $25. It's got some pretty appealing box art showing the playground obviously there in the foreground. You got a little fence and a swing in the background and some trees out beyond that fence. Very nice showing of characters down there on the bottom right. And as we flip to the backside, they just show off more of the set with kind of this weird background. They show the detached version of the playground, and then of course the attached version. They show off the car and all the accessories that you're going to get with that, all 3 minifigures there. And then of course the perfect start down here, where you have a lot of the bigger pieces that go together for the Lego set. I found this to be a little bit misleading because that's not really how it goes together, but we'll just leave it at that. Let's go ahead and get into the minifigs of the set. Our first character up is Buzz Lightyear, who looks as good as ever, except for the headpiece. I think the original headpiece from like back in 2009 was better than what they're giving them now, but it is a junior set, so I can see maybe that's why they wanted to dumb it down. I'm not really sure. I don't know really why they did it, but I like the older headpiece. That's the point. The rest of the figure is great though. He has the detachable wings here, which have the caution markings and everything, so you can actually pull these off if you so choose. They're just kind of separate there. They don't fold into the backpack, unfortunately, or the back area, but they are there. You of course have his little visor here, which you can pull off as well. It doesn't close down over him or anything, but it is there. If you pull this whole contraption off, you'll see more detail on the figure on the torso there, and even more detail on the back that you couldn't see otherwise. That's the Buzz Lightyear figure without his little armor piece, which is kind of all one piece there, which is kind of a giant molded thing with those wings added on. So very interesting design there if you want to take a good look at that. But let's move on to our next figure. Next up is Bo Peep, who looks beautiful as ever. It's an excellent figure. They actually changed the cape on these figures for the junior sets to only have one hole, so it's not the typical fold-over cape that they use on LEGO minifigures, just to make it easier for little kids to put on. So that's interesting. If you needed to know that, you now know that. A little bit of back printing there to make her look more feminine, with the little black bars to kind of make her look thin. Same thing there on the front with a pretty nice print on the front. They even gave her leg printing and little printing on the foot there. She has her stick there in that beautiful blue color. It's actually a very nice accessory for her to have. Her hairpiece, I believe, is new with the pink little ribbon there on the side, which looks very nice. Removing that and flipping her around will reveal a second face, which has a nice little smirk to it. So you get 2 pretty happy looking faces, which I think a lot of people will appreciate. That is Bo Peep. Finally, we have a new character for the Toy Story 4 movie, I believe, and that is Gabby Gabby, who has this polka-dotted outfit on. Yellow and white polka dots. Looks very, very interesting. She has some leg printing down at the bottom, same little kind of foot printing as Bo Peep, except with the yellow rectangles. Just a nice figure overall. I love that little cape piece, or rather waist piece, that they give these figures for their skirt. It's kind of an interesting look. She has an interesting hairpiece, and if you pick that up, you'll find that she does have a second face on the backside, which, dare I say, looks a little bit more evil or menacing than the front face, which is a little bit more of a smile. This looks like an evil smirk. I don't know about what you guys think, but I think that's an evil smirk. I think she's an evil character. I guess we'll find out, but that is definitely an evil looking smirk. Let's move into the rest of the set. So here's the whole set. We're actually going to start up close here with our 2 little playground accessories, more or less. We have what I think is the most fun part of the set. I guess we'll start with that, and that is the little skunk here. I love this little Skunk Mobile. It's actually for Bo Peep. At least that's who they show driving it, but I guess you could really have anybody driving it. They gave it a little printed piece on the front to have a little bit of a face, which is nice. That's going to be an exclusive print for this set. It's got 4 wheels that can rotate pretty well with very low friction, so you'll find that it actually rolls along very easily. And if you want to put Bo Peep in there, you can actually keep her staff, or whatever you want to call it, on her. You just put her in a little seated position. Gosh, it's tough sometimes. And there she is, ready to rock and roll. I also really like this black kind of fern piece. I'm not sure if it's exclusive to this set, but it's definitely on the newer end of Lego pieces. It actually would make good use for some Lego mocks where you kind of have a burnt forest maybe. So maybe some mock builders will really be into that piece, but I just find it to be an interesting piece on the back side of this Skunk Mobile. It still rolls just fine with Bo Peep on there, so no worries about that. Just an interesting little design. The little playground spinner is something that they show Buzz holding on to dear life for, but I fear that when we put him on there, it's not going to spin as well. But there you can see it spinning very easily with nothing on it. It's actually pretty fun. On the box, they actually show him holding on with like one hand, so we'll see if we can kind of recreate that to any degree, but I'm doubting that this is going to... Oh, I think it's going to work. To some degree. Not as well as it did before, but you can see even with Buzz on there, it's still going to spin just fine. So I actually think this could be some great little playability. And for such a small build, it's like 10 pieces. Like, it's actually more than half decent. Like, it's really, really good looking, and it actually works really well. It fits in nicely with the rest of the set, and for something so small, it like adds a lot of play value to the set. Finally, we have the entire playground here, at least the bigger part of it. It's a very interesting design, very colorful. You guys will notice there are like 5 different very bright colors on this set that really pop out at you. You have this light blue, you got orange, you got yellow, you of course have green, a little bit of tan, a little bit of brown, and then they even kind of color it up over here a little bit more too. So I guess we'll go left to right because that's how you read, and we'll start with the slide here. We're going to send Gabby Gabby down the slide. We're going to test out how good the slide design is for its function. It is made of 2 very large pieces, yellow and blue. I kind of wish they had just made it one color, but I think they did want it to be a little bit more colorful just because it's for kids. But again, I would have preferred a monotone slide myself. We're going to go ahead and send Gabby Gabby down the slide and see how it works though. Pretty well. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that for a small little Lego slide. You can even get it to go down. Maybe you need a little bit of oomph into it to begin, but that's a very interesting little slide design that I think if you even had more slides, it could be fun if you built your own custom one. You have this little white picket fence to kind of keep your characters safe up there. You have this very nice printed piece here. It's on a 1x6x5 brick, and it's going to allow you to have some windows there in the center, which are actually like added in there that you can push out or pull out. They're actually going to be a little bit tough to pull out because they are there's a lot of friction there, but they can open up and you can actually get access to the interior of the, I guess we'll call it a tree house, but the wall here is just one nice print, and that's a very nice little piece there. You're also going to find a ladder crossing over, which we'll get to in a second. I'll just show you the underneath here. Nothing really going on underneath the tree house. Looking down underneath the tree house, you're not going to find too much except some greenery, so you can just kind of play with figures down under there if you so choose, but again, there's not too much to do with that space. The back side of the treehouse looks like this, and again, that's where you can push open the windows from pretty easily. That brick piece that has the print on the front side looks pretty awkward from the inside, to be honest, but it's still, I don't know, it's good enough, I guess. You have a nice little oven there that you can open and close. There's nothing in the oven currently, but you could put something in there. And then you have scrambled eggs on the stovetop there, which is interesting. There is an extra scrambled egg piece included, so I just kind of put it down here in that little compartment that they included. It's a pretty small space, but you can fit a minifigure in there if you need to or want to, so it's plenty of space to get one figure in there, which is really all you need. You can have them look out the window and everything. So that's the back side of the treehouse section. You have this ladder that connects the treehouse section to this little section over here with the window and everything. It is a pretty easily detachable section. You can literally just pull it apart. You can either pull off the ladder from one side or the other. Typically, you're going to want to leave the ladder on there though, so your characters can get up onto the treehouse section and get down that slide. But if you just want them separate, you can have them separate like this. So looking at this one thing, you're going to see the underside is just nothing special, just a lot more greenery held up by these big brown support beams. You also have these fronds here, which we'll get to how that works in a moment. Another white picket fence to just kind of make sure characters don't fall off, kind of create the illusion that there's a railing there. You have this nice little window here that you can kind of look out of if you're a character. I guess we'll grab Gabby Gabby out of the treehouse there, and she can look out. It's not the best, but it works well enough, I suppose. There's again not too much space there for you to work with, but it's sufficient, which I guess is the best way to put it. Anyway, you also have this little wall that you can climb up to get on top of this particular section, which is interesting, but other than that, this section doesn't do much. Now that we have it reattached, I can show you guys the feature that I've been waiting to show you, and that's that these can open and close. So you can basically create a wall or close the wall or doorway, whatever you want to call it here, with these particular leaves. And what I like to do is take the Skunk Mobile and run it right through it. You can have, oh no, her cane is getting clipped on the top there. Let's close that down. All right, so if we take Bo Peep, you can just have her run right through that, and I think that can be a lot of fun for some people. That's actually like a really fun little play feature where you can have it close and then she can just break through it. It's very low friction, so you're not gonna have trouble getting through, and then you can close it right back up, no problem. So that's a pretty fun play feature. There are a lot of play features on this set, a lot of like dollhouse type features too, where you kind of have to use your own imagination, and I think that's great as well for kids. But this is not really really a set for adults, obviously. There are some cool pieces on this, definitely some pieces that some mock builders would like, I think. For me, obviously, this isn't something that I'm probably going to keep around. I thought I would review it, and that would be fun, and it is, but the set as a whole just really isn't for me. It is obviously a junior set for 4+, so if you're, 4+, you might be a little bit more interested in that, and that's great. Let me know what you guys think about this set down in the comments section below, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's got some excellent play features, and for $25, it's actually a pretty good deal in my opinion. There's plenty to do with this set. You can have quite a few hours of fun in my opinions. So again, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section below. I think it's a fun play set that you can get a lot of playability out of if you have the right imagination. If you guys enjoyed this early review of the LEGO Toy Story 4 Buzz and Bo Peeps Playground Adventure, leave a like on the video. If you do, the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.